everyone and welcome back to Environment with M. Today we're going to talk about how you can reduce your climate impact. As we learned in my last video, carbon dioxide is a very important gas when it comes to climate change and it has a lot of impact on the temperature. So today I got 5 categories of parts of your life where you can reduce your carbon emissions. The first category is food. So 25% of our carbon emissions comes from food, and compared to some other categories, food is very important. Well, we need to eat to survive, but there is a big difference between food and food. Meat emits a lot more carbon dioxide compared to plant-based food. So a study from the UK shows that comparing a vegan diet with someone that eats at least 100 grams of meat every day, the vegan diet is only 40% carbon dioxide emissions compared to the meat eaters one. So that's a big difference there. So what can you do about it? If you're eating a lot of meat, it might feel hard to go from eating a lot of meat to eating full plant-based diet, and yeah, that's hard. Take it step by step. So if you eat a lot of meat, you can reduce the amount of meat on your plate and substitute it with some more beans and other plant-based proteins, or you can try to eat full vegetarian meals some days in the week. And if you're a vegetarian, you can try to reduce dairy and egg, or go fully vegan. And also you need to remember that eat everything that you buy. Don't throw away food, because that's such a waste and a lot of emissions that weren't necessary. The next category is the car, or all types of commuting, local transport, but car is the most important one here. If we compare the car and bike, commuting to work with bike is only 8% carbon emissions compared to a car, so it's a big difference there. If you don't live that close to your school or your job, public transport is a great alternative. So you can go by bus or by trains. If you need to have a car for some reason, look into if there's another alternative than just a petrol car. So you can use an electric car maybe. But here it depends a little bit on where you are. So if you're in Scandinavia, where we got a lot of renewable energy, which is hydropower, wind power and solar power, then the energy mix is quite good. But if you're in a place with a lot of fossil fuels such as oil or coal, then it's not as good. So it depends on where you are. You can also use an electric bike instead of a normal bike to make it a little bit easier, or use a carpool. So the third category is our home. 28% of the energy consumption comes from the home, and energy use usually has a big impact on the climate. Depends on where you are, but if there's a lot of fossil fuels in the mix, it's very important. So things you can do is to turn off your lights when you're not in the room, or when you don't need to have the lights on. You can also wash your clothes in a lower temperature than it says, so use 30 and 40 degrees water instead of 60 degrees. If you need to buy a new appliance for your house, you can look for low energy certified products that will consume less energy. And you can also change the energy you use, so it comes from more renewables instead of fossil fuels. And if it's possible in your house, you can lower the temperature 1 degree and wear more clothes instead, which will save 5% energy. And the last tip, which might be a little bit extreme for some of you, is to move to a smaller place, a smaller house, a smaller apartment, or to live with other people. And so maybe you can share a kitchen and living room and have your own bedroom. For some people, this might actually add a lot of value in their life. The fourth category is traveling. And here we're talking about holidays, traveling far. So 2% of the carbon emissions comes from flying. And that might not sound that much, but only 3% of the world's population is flying every year. So that's not a lot. If 3% emits 2% of the carbon dioxide only when they fly, flying must be pretty bad. And according to Gössling, which is a Swedish professor, I will link him down below, there are also some consequences of the emissions getting emitted far up in the atmosphere that makes the impact bigger. So it might be 4% of the impact instead of 2, really. So if we compare flying with getting the train, for example, if we have an example of going from Stockholm to Barcelona, if you get the train there, that's only 14% of the emissions from the flying. So that's a big difference. And this is a European energy mix average. So if you're traveling in a place like Sweden with a lot of renewable energy, then the impact would be even lower from the train. So what can you do about it? Yeah, you can get the train. I interrailed a few years ago in Europe. That was the best holiday ever. You can experience things in another way when you can look out through the window and see the environment while you're traveling, which is really great. And there's so many nice places in your home country and in the neighboring countries or like in the continent that you can experience. You don't have to go to the other side of the world. And if you have to fly somewhere, maybe see if you can plan to be there for a long time, because then at least you maximize the experience for the carbon emissions. And so that's what you can say what I'm doing right now, being here in India for 5 months. And the last category I'll mention today is consumption. It's hard to find an exact number of how big the emissions from consumption really are. But in Sweden, 4% of our carbon emissions comes from the production of shoes and clothes. So that's a lot. And for one t-shirt, one long sleeve, 100% cotton, 10.75 kilos of carbon dioxide gets emitted. And you can compare that with driving 40 kilometers in a car. So let's think if we just compare buying 5 new t-shirts every year, or 10, I don't know, or 20, with say buying them secondhand instead of buying a few secondhand. You can see you can do a lot of savings there. But other things you can do is try to think about quality shopping. So for example, you can buy clothes from a brand that you know is good, that are making environmental friendly clothes, such as True Threads, for example. They are making climate neutral clothes. Or just make sure in general that you buy things you really like and that you're going to use for a while and not throw away after one time. I really looked into minimalism recently, and yeah, I really like it. There's so many good inspiring people out there. For example, the Minimalists and Michelle B, Break the Twitch are 3 YouTube channels that are really nice. And at the moment, while I'm here in India, I'm doing a project 333, which I will link down below. That's basically that you use only 33 clothes, jewelry, accessories for 3 months. And I'm gonna do it for 5 months while I'm here in India. So it's a little bit different situation when you move away for a few months. But yeah, that will make you buy less, definitely, and appreciate what you got. So I hope you got some inspiration there, and I will link all the references I've used for all the numbers so you can look it up and read more about it. So I linked that down below, and everything else I mentioned. So I hope you have a really great day. Please hit subscribe. See you in my next video. Bye.